All right, so how's it going, guys? Here I am out of the United States and down here in the Dominican Republic in a place called Casa de Campo.
That's close.
That's close.
Close.
Right next to, what is it, La Ramona?
La Romana.
What, La Romana.
La Romana.
It's been a while since I took Spanish, so bear with me on my pronunciations. I struggle, even in English, to say some of those words.
You're knucklehead. You know that?
Oh yeah, I've known that my whole life. But so this is where my buddy Mr. James here, his wife Miss Lauren, and kids Michael and Caroline live in La Romana.
La Romana.
La Romana.
Say Roman
Roman.
and then add an A. So
Roman
Romana.
A.
Romana.
Romana.
Yeah, Roman Romana.
La Ramon.
It's not Ramon. Not like Ray Romano.
La Roma.
Roman.
Roman.
So Romana.
Romana.
Gotcha.
La Ramona. There we go. I got it.
Romana.
All right. So this is a Peavy family here, and we're staying with them while we're down here for a few days in the Dominican, and so they've been staying with us, and they used to go to Wake Chapel Christian Church with us for a while, and then they felt the calling to be missionaries, and here they are here in the Dominican Republic. So, Mr. James, I was going to ask you a little bit of some questions while I'm here today, and just ask, how did this all came about? I mean, how is it being able to raise a family and be a missionary here in a foreign country other than the United States all at the same time? How do you do that?
Well, there's been a challenge. We've been here for 7 months now, and the biggest thing was learning the language. We just finished language school, and
it's a Spanish-speaking country.
Yeah, Spanish-speaking country. So we just finished language school last week. Yeah, you're right. See. Not we. We is French.
Oui. CC.
CC. So anyhow, we finished that on Tuesday of last week, and we're starting to move into ministry. We have a seminary that's going to be starting this fall, and
that's awesome.
In about a month and a half now. And the biggest challenge for us was just getting used to the difference of the way things work. The air conditioning in the home, there's only one room that's air conditioned, everything else is not. All homes are like that here. Getting used to the fact that water's not consistent, power's not consistent. We are without power about 6 hours a day, every day. Everybody speaks a different language than what we're used to. And so it's taken a little bit of a struggle for our son to make friends, and he's only 3 years old, and so he's been having some problems with really being able to communicate with people. And it's frustrating for a 3-year-old because he doesn't understand it. And so he's been dealing with a little bit of culture shock, and we've worked our way through it too. But it's when they say that things are done differently in a different culture, you don't realize how differently until you're immersed in it and you're soaked in it. Any other questions?
That's amazing. And
where we going?
Wow, that's even more than I thought of, because I know, especially here, being at the resort, I mean, most people, if not everybody, speaks Spanish here and hardly little English. So it's a little bit for me, even for just a few days that I'm here, to realize that and be like, hey, I ought to remember some of the Spanish and look back at the Spanish I learned in my sophomore year of school.
Yeah, and we're hanging out here at Casa de Campo, which is like one of the nicest resorts in the country. And we get a different view here of the Dominican Republic than what you would if you went into the city. Hopefully, Preston may go with me into the city on Monday, and he'll get to see a little bit of it. But like, for instance, the average income here is about $300 a month. There's a lot of poverty. 30% of the people in the country live in poverty, which is where they're barely be able to make it by without power, without water. There are some places only 15 minutes from here where these villages are 60, 70 years old, but they've never had electricity. There's a great need for medical missions, great need for poverty relief, things along those lines. But the city of La Romana, that's a fairly large city, maybe 250,000 people, and about half of the city there doesn't have any sort of medical care, doesn't have, it's just the basic necessities that we expect in the United States. And so we're getting to see a little bit of a utopia here that you wouldn't get to see in the city.
So how is it being able to start the seminary, meet pastors that are pastors that live here in the Dominican, and like we said, speak Spanish, a little bit of a culture difference than we are used to in the United States. How is that, being able to meet with so many godly people, and how are you able to be a witness here in the Dominican?
Well, first off, rubbing shoulders with the pastors has been a great challenge, making me stretch, because first I struggled to communicate for a while, was immersed in meetings with them and trying to discuss the direction of the seminary, and had to learn Spanish very fast. But that I see the pastor's devotion has challenged me, and I'm a missionary here, so you'd expect me to. Paused.
Pause due to poor connection. I don't know what to do.
Give it a second.
Hopefully it'll come back on. We have a good amount of people. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 so far.
We'll hit the refresh button down here. Oops, sorry.
You good?
Will this button here do it?
That changes the camera.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know how to.
You want to end it and then start a new one?
Oh, here we go. We're back on.
We're back?
We're back on.
Oh.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. Internet connection's pretty slow here.
Yeah.
And we're sending it all the way back to the States, so
Yeah, that's true.
take a little delay.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, meeting with the
Yeah.
pastors has really challenged me, because they often are running a Christian school. They're running the church. They've got other ministries, like the pastor in La Romana. He runs an orphanage as well, working himself to the bone, because there's not a lot of qualified people here. And so that's why we're here, is to start the seminary, to help the pastors have help, to train Christian leaders, to train more pastors, so that way these guys aren't pastoring 4 or 5 churches at a time. As far as being a witness, like Preston's question was, the biggest thing for us now, as we have been learning the language, was just developing relationships with our neighbors, security guard at the La Sirena, which is our grocery store we go to.
Relationships plays a big part in witness.
Just getting to talk to people and letting them know what we're here doing, and that's a perfect segue. Say, hey, we're here to share the gospel of Christ. That's why we're here, because they want to know, why is a white person here with his 2 little white babies, 2 little white kids? I mean, what are they doing here? So they want to ask us questions, and it just gives us a perfect opportunity to share the gospel.
Well, that's awesome. It really is. And talking about how God moves in different ways with this plan and timing. For a while, obviously for a while y'all felt called to be missionaries as a family, but for a while y'all felt like being called to Australia, and then things made a sudden change to Dominican.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So 2 years ago, we started the visa application to go to Australia, and we were pretty much denied. We were told by our immigration lawyer that there wasn't much of a chance for us to get in, so we started looking for somewhere else to go. And the Dominican Republic was kind of dropped in our laps. We came here on a mission trip in January of 2016, and the Lord definitely opened the door for us, and confirmed that call in February, when both my wife and I spent about a month praying about it and said, this is where we need to go. And we started language school in March of last year, and had the baby, Caroline, who's now almost a year old. She came in August 24th, and then we moved here in January. So it was all really fast.
Yep.
We didn't have a lot of time to prepare ourselves for it. We were prepped to go to a very Western country with Australia. And this is completely different, about as far different as you can get.
Yeah, because I remember when y'all were getting ready for Australia and everything. I remember being there when Caroline was born, too, in the hospital.
Yeah.
Seeing y'all, that was neat to see that.
So Preston's been along on this journey with us. His friendship has been a good help in this.
Appreciate that, and it's amazing to see a family like y'all commit to the Lord and commit to what He wants for you and your life, and for Miss Lauren's life, and for the lives of y'all's family as well. And it's just a blessing for me to be able to, because I'm not very comfortable coming out of the United States anywhere.
Yeah.
I never have an easy feeling going out of the United States. But being able to come here to the Dominican for, to be able to see y'all and be here at this resort just to get to witness a little bit of what y'all were doing here, it's amazing for me to see.
Yeah.
And it's amazing for me to see what it's like to be a missionary in a foreign country.
Yeah, well, one of the ministries we had before we left the United States was working with youth. Preston's one of them.
Yep.
A couple of you guys down on there, David, Michael,
Yep.
I don't know, Preston knows who all's on there. I don't know how to work this
Oh,
stuff. But anyhow, so we were working with the youth group, and one of the things we hope to be able to continue doing is hosting short-term missions trips. There's a baseball ministry that goes on every single summer for guys. If you're over the age of 16 and you want to play baseball and teach baseball, you can come down. Men as well. There's opportunities where church youth groups want to come down and do missions. We can help facilitate that. But our goal in that and our goal in working with youth is that you guys are going to be the next leaders of the church. You're
Right.
the next pastors,
Yes.
you're the next deacons, you're the next Sunday school teachers, next missionaries, and so we need to be investing in them now. And I would love to be able to see some of the youth that we work with at Wake Chapel go into ministry. Like Preston's wanting to be a pastor. I'd love to see somebody go into missions. It was because of missions trips my wife took that when she was at Wake Chapel that gave her the heart for missions. It's because of the missionaries that came through that expressed love for the Lord and shared the burden for missions that my wife wants to be a missionary. And same thing with me from my youth group experience. And so I hope and pray that we will be able to help influence the next people who will be taking our place one day.
Well, you surely have put a great influence on me, and that goes to show for the rest of your family as well. And I thank y'all very much for what y'all are doing, and I pray for the blessing of y'all. The Lord will continue to bless y'all greatly here in this country.
Well,
and
Preston,
even
you're
more
one of the
so.
blessings, so you're praying for yourself.
Appreciate that. Y'all give a hand to Mr. James Peavy right here for the amazing work he's done, and try to imagine some applause here of other
I'll
people.
imagine.
I'm sure it's
Wait for
happening
some
right
of those
now.
emojicons to pop up of applause.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
what they're called, emojicons?
Emojicons?
Yeah.
No, it's just emojis.
Oh, emoji.
Emojis.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not. I don't do this whole social media stuff very much.
Oh, yeah. It's all right. But thank y'all very much for tuning in and listening, and God bless y'all, and y'all have a good rest of y'all Saturday.
Alrighty.